Our future Finance Minister!
Before I begin, let me say thank you. Thank you for staying here despite the rain. Thank you for showing that we have fire in our bellies that cannot be put out by the rain. We are here today because of you. Because we want to make Singapore a better place for every one of us. So thank you for showing that you are also here for us. Thank you. Dear Singaporeans, everywhere we go, we hear complaints about cost of living. There are many factors that cause the rising. Thank you. There are many factors contributing to our cost of living, some of which is controllable. That includes GST, subsidies from the government, which is reduced. When they reduce subsidies to the university, our university fees go up. When they reduce subsidies to the hospitals, our medical bills go up. Another important contributor is property price. When property price increase, when rents increase, all business costs increase. These are direct contributions to the cost of living that is controllable by the government. Of course, there are also factors that are uncontrollable. For example, the global oil prices, commodities, and food prices. So the best way to help us cope is to make sure that our wages grow faster than the cost of living. And the biggest factor is supply of labor. Basic economics tells us that when supply goes up, everything else being equal, the price of labor decreases. Now the Manpower Minister, Tan Kim Yong, the MP for Chua Chu Kang, tries to tell us that growth is a more important factor, not the supply of labor. To justify, he gave a couple of examples. He said that in 2007 and 2008, when the number of foreign workers increased, wages went up. But that is not true. In 2008, real wages decreased. He also said that in 2009, when foreigners left, our wages went down. But in 2009, our population went up by 150,000. If those are not foreign workers, do we have 150,000 babies? Evidence points to the fact that every time the growth rate of our population goes up, the growth rate of our wages decreases. They move in opposite directions in all 5 years from 2005 to 2009. This shows that both economic growth and supplies are both important factors. We need to be more committed to growing the wages of Singaporeans, and that means we need to limit the supply of labour, especially to the low and middle income level jobs. This is why NSP is pushing for a quota on foreign workers for all jobs paying under $4,000 a month. Currently, we have no quota for jobs paying $2,008 and above. Our proposals will give Singaporeans a better chance of securing jobs paying up to $4,000, while jobs paying above that will continue to be open to global competition, and higher quotas will be given to jobs that Singaporeans do not want to take up. And greater effort must also be made to enforce our employment rules. During my stint as a HR manager, I interviewed many job applicants who told me about the abuses in their companies. They were not paid more than 2005, for that was the threshold then. But the companies declared the salary as 2005 so that they can get unlimited employment passes. And I also have many foreign applicants who volunteered to give back part of their salaries. Such practices are apparently widespread. Our enforcement of our employment rules is dismal. We're not against the employment of foreigners. They make important contributions to our economy too. But we have to take care of our own citizens first. Isn't that always the first priority of any government? Do we expect our citizens to be loyal and defend the country in times of crisis? Is that not fair, then, that citizenship must have its privileges? There is a level of anger against foreigners in Singapore. I encounter it frequently. This was not always the case, because Singapore has a short history, and our grandparents were mostly immigrants too. Why then this sudden anger? Why the sudden xenophobia? It is because the PAP government brought in too many, too fast, without adequate planning and preparation. From 2005 to 2010, our population increased by 910,000 without a corresponding increase in our infrastructure. So we have overcrowding in our trains, in our buses, in our polyclinics, and our shopping malls. Our home prices rose alarmingly because supply is lagging so far behind demand. And all around us, we suddenly see a lot more foreigners than we've been used to, with their own language, culture, and living habits. And Singaporeans have to watch in apprehension as more and more jobs were taken up by foreigners. And the fear that we will be replaced